Welcome to the Unemployable podcast. I have a good close friend of mine, Robbie, here with me, and this did not happen at the end of the episode. Have you guys heard about BOOKEDIN? Well, let me tell you. BOOKEDIN gives you your time back, allows you to focus on your clients and not your schedule. Also allows you to manage your time better. The app is very reliable, secure, and well-maintained. No clunkiness or glitchy settings. It gives you peace of mind knowing your business and clients are in good hands. Reduces no-shows. Sends multiple emails and text reminders. I hate when my clients don't show up on time. Clients can even confirm their appointment via email or text, which saves me so much time. I don't have to call people to confirm if they're coming. No download or login required. Love that. Many online booking services force your clients to download an app and create a client login and password. Lame. They make it super easy for clients to book an appointment. 2 clicks and you're done. BOOKEDIN is super easy to set up. It literally takes 10 minutes to get up and running and start taking online appointments. I bet it would only take me 8 minutes, dog. Work-life balance. You are busy and it's hard to balance everything between your various calendars, clients, just life in general. It's hard to manage everything effectively all the time. It's easy to forget to schedule personal things, and this causes unneeded stress. Hate unneeded stress. BOOKEDIN syncs with pretty much all calendars and automatically blocks off time. If you have something in your other calendars, it really helps work-life balance. It makes it much easier to manage your life. For me, this is an amazing tool. I do not like wasting time. I want peace of mind. I don't want double bookings. I want something that takes care of all that for me. BOOKEDIN is the place. And now if you use code CASTLE, you get 75% off for 3 months. Check it out. It has come to my attention that a lot of you come here, watch the content, and don't subscribe. And that fact has been proven by those around me with a number figure of 90%. What's going on? You come here every week, you watch, just hit subscribe. That's it. That's all we want. Don't be a dick. Just hit the button. We're just complimenting Robbie on his beautiful new addition.
It looks sick.
The fade. We're talking about all the spots on the face that we either know hurt or think probably hurt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Dude, it's funny. I have a story.
All right.
Attached.
Well, this is actually the perfect setting for a story.
That's good. That's good. It involves the last time I was here.
Okay.
All right. So last time we were here, we did the show. I had a really great day. It was dope. I get back to the hotel room, and I'm like, man, I'm chilling. We about to order some Mexican food. Let me eat some of these fucking weed cookies. Man, what a nice night. What a way to like celebrate a good day.
Little nightcap.
Yeah, you know? And I'm like, man, last time I ate these cookies, one didn't do me nothing. So let me do 1.5.
I feel like this is how every great edible story starts.
Dude,
I usually do one.
Right.
Let me do 2.
So, and so I was being respectable and intelligent, and I did 1.5.
Oh, that's pretty good. Better than most of my other friends.
Right. But like, I probably should have done like 1.25.
Okay.
You know, Robbie goes a little far. So like, I did that. And like, you know, at one point in time, I'm like, wow, man, these cookies are great.
Yeah.
You know, I'm having a great time.
What, like 10, 20 minutes after?
Yeah, like 30 minutes even.
Okay,
like maybe an hour.
You're like, cool.
I had a nice ride for a bit there. Ate a ton of Mexican food, man. Me and my chick were just enjoying the shit out of it. My son was playing, just being silly, right? And like, I'm just having a good night, man.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, I'm like, I'm feeling so good. And then I really didn't feel so good. And the whole day we were talking about surrender. So we did like 4 hours of podcasting. We were talking about surrender, right?
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there and I'm fucking like, and I start feeling really bad. And like
it was just too much, or you?
It just gross in my stomach. Like I had to throw up.
Yeah.
Like it at that point it was too much, right?
Yeah.
So then Donna, my chick, she goes into like full like loving mode and mom mode where like, if you do too much of anything around me, I'm like, what the fuck are you doing?
Yeah.
And she's like, nah, baby, what do you need? And I'm like, whoa, that's wild. Thank you so much for being so loving, right? Hold on to that thought, right? I'm like, man, she's being really loving. That's amazing. It's really nice. I don't deserve this, right? Because I'm an idiot and I made a mistake. And so she's like taking care of the baby. I'm fucking feeling terrible. And she gets me the trash can. And then all of a sudden I just keep hearing surrender, dude. Surrender, surrender. So I like fight the surrender. And as soon as I lean into it, I throw up. So every time that happens for the next half hour, I'm like, no, this is gross. I don't want it. All right, surrender, bro. Blah.
Yeah.
Fucking terrible. So for 30 minutes, I'm just fucking throwing up all the 5 pounds of fucking Mexican food I just ate.
Right.
And then fucking, I'm finally like almost good, right? Like I don't know where I am on the like, am I good scale yet? Donna goes, hey, do I need to call an ambulance? And usually I'm like, nah, dog, I'm straight. And I was like, I don't know, give me 30 minutes to an hour. So I was like, wow, that sucked. You know, like I didn't realize that at the point, but that really sucks. Like when you're that scared, that, you might need to go to the hospital. And at one point in time, I was like, oh, I see why people say like they've gotten so high they hallucinate. Dog, for a second there, I felt like I was on some drugs.
Oh, you were up there.
Boy, it was not a good time. So then it starts to really level out. And then this is why I told you to hold on to that one thing about Donna being awesome, because like she just kept being awesome the whole night. Yeah. And I lay down, and I'm looking at her on the pillow as I lay down, right? And then every time I turn away from her, I feel fucking ill. So then I panic, and I look at her. Yeah. And then surrender to love keeps popping up. And I'm like, what the fuck? And it just kept doing it. So every time I'd look away, and then surrender to love. Hey, and like, and, you know, I'm in this other world, right? So like, I'm very able to hear what's happening in my brain, you know, because I'm not really focusing on anything. Like, so these words, they just keep coming in. Surrender to love, surrender to love. So I was like, holy shit, this bitch is my anchor. Right. Like, right. So I'm like,
this bitch keep me down.
Yo, and she's been that. Yeah. And that was a very big, like, dude, she slept on the floor when I was losing my leg and shit. Yeah, yeah. Right? So it was really weird. So I was like, they probably might be something to this, right? So, you know, surrender to love. I go to sleep happy, looking at her. And that was the night I realized I needed to ask her to marry me. Oh, wow. And like, our engagement proposal that actually happened went bad. Okay. I had someone in my life who was not doing wonderful things, and they were giving Donna all the information about the surprise, so she knew about the whole surprise. Man. So like that little weird story of me getting too high is like probably the coolest part of our engagement. And in like true, you know, myself fashion, right? Like,
so you were trying to set up like a surprise engagement for her, and someone else was intentionally ruining it?
Well, like they did a lot of other deeper stuff. Sure. And so like, but you know, when you trust the wrong people, right? But that kind of goes right into the mental wellness side of things, you know, like.
I mean, it still worked out though, right? It
always
still
does.
Was about like, hey, we love each other. This is
absolutely.
You know, okay.
Well, so that night went terribly wrong because she already knew what was going on, but then I was gonna like do this fucking bioluminescent kayaking and like ask her to marry me, like in the kayak, like fucking with the fucking glowing water, because like Moana's our favorite movie, and like and like the glowing water in Moana, and then I wanted to take her to Aurora Borealis because she loves that shit, and so like I wanted to do something really cool because like she always said, if somebody asked me to marry them under Aurora Borealis, I'm doing it. Yeah. I don't care who they are. If that's where we are.
The tour guide is just like, well.
I'm doing it. So I'm like, I know I'm getting a yes, but let me give her the fucking dream. And like, you can't just go to Aurora Borealis without somebody knowing they're going to it, right? So, you know, I didn't, like, that was my way of giving her the Florida man version of Aurora Borealis, right? And then that gets fucked up because in the middle of dinner before that, we get a call. They're like, water's not glowing, guys.
That's why I haven't booked one. My girl's dying to do it.
Dude, no.
Wait, so, where can you do this?
Oh, in Florida. Yeah, everywhere, dog.
Yeah, a lot of places in Florida.
It has seasons, right? And I don't know the exact scientific reason why it happens, but it's some sort of fucking
bacteria.
Yeah.
Weird shit.
Bacteria or like,
That's what it is.
So it's a science thing.
Like around here?
Yeah, you can do it around.
Yeah,
Like
water.
like Oleta Park, I think you can do it there.
I've
The
seen it
water
my
glows.
whole life.
Yeah.
What are they just like pour bleach in there?
No,
I think
no.
so. It's the BP oil spill. Just the remnants of it.
No, but dude, I remember being a kid and didn't even realize how special it was. And I'm just like swimming in it at night, you know?
Damn.
They say not to, too. They say you're not supposed to.
Oh, well, you know, I mean, my dad smoked
You're under the
cigarettes
water
in
opening
car
your eyes.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
are they as bright as they
so-
look on Groupon?
So here's the thing, right? So here's the thing, you know, as sometimes bad story, well, anytime bad stories usually have some sort of cool part, right?
Yeah.
Right? So it wasn't a bad
So far, it just
Yeah.
seems like cool parts.
Yeah, it
Sounds like
wasn't
one
a bad
bad thing.
time. I had
Yeah.
some dope fucking people there with me aside from the ones that weren't.
Yeah.
You know, like so we had a really nice time. Fucking I shifted focus because bioluminescence was gonna die. So like I was like, how the fuck? And she's like, well, let's go to the strip club or something because she already knows.
That shit glows.
Right. Like she knows I'm gonna ask her to marry me,
Yeah.
but she doesn't know.
Do you know she knows?
No, not
Yeah.
my heart knows, but my brain does. I didn't get the information, but something felt off that night.
Yeah.
So like, I'm just like, fuck it. I'm gonna go smoke a joint over here under this bridge, and when this bitch walk over, I'm gonna get on a knee and fucking ask her to marry me.
Yeah.
But now the amputee in me has been freaking out about getting down on one
Robbie,
knee.
can you move the mic up a little bit?
Yeah.
A little bit.
Oh, that makes sense.
The amputee in me has been freaking out about it. I've been like, man, we were watching a movie where a dude gets down on one knee, and I'm like, I'm terrified to get down on
Were
one
you
knee.
practicing?
No, because I
there?
was so afraid of it, and I was gonna be in a fucking kayak. I found a workaround, right?
Man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so now I have a PTSD trauma moment.
So did I. Brought a kayak under the
Right? So like I found out.
Get in.
Right? Yeah. I found out we weren't gonna go on the kayak.
Yeah.
So I'm fucking bawling my face off when I. So I'm
yeah.
like, moment, fuck, trigger. You know, and I'm like, this sucks, dude. So like I have to fucking man up, work through it, and just go ahead and do it, right? And then so she's like, oh, let's go to the strip club. I'm like, no, I don't want to do that shit, dog.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not romantic enough.
Right.
You know, so
All right, but we get a private room.
right, yeah, right.
The water ain't lit, but I am.
So I just go ahead and I get over it. I get down on one knee. We get it on video. It's cute, you know, like fucking.
So the one knee went okay.
It went okay.
Right.
It was so like tying it into mental wellness,
It's
right?
like a trust fall. Kind of.
Dude, well, what are you gonna do, bitch?
Yeah.
Like you
Now that you said yes, can you help me up?
right. Like,
Yeah.
and it was more. I think it's, dude. I've been on my knees a lot. But like, you know, I had a trainer that had me doing like fucking like kneeling face pulls and crunches and shit. Like whatever. I've done things. I've been on my knees. I feel like this is gonna be a clip. But yeah, like, so I know I can do it, but I know like when you push the thing too far, it can like start to come off. But like your leg never just falls off. Like it just kind of shimmies a little, and, you know, then it burps when you walk, and then you got to fucking fix things right quick. So nothing to really worry about, but I was stressing myself about shit.
It's important to you.
Right, yeah. So, you know, it's all good. Soon as I asked this hoe to marry me, this motherfucking bioluminescent kayak people call back, and they're like, nope, we found some. Come on down.
It's a miracle. Before you answer.
But you know, like, we had the fucking freak out with the audio, right? And like canceling the episode was one of the things that got brought up, right? Like, because it's always darkest before the dawn, you know, the 11th hour, you know, that last second when shit just don't feel like it's gonna go right.
Yeah.
And it goes right. You know, so like that's what ended up happening. We do this shit. It's fucking phenomenal. One homie's on a stand-up paddleboard, a fucking gator goes by him.
Damn.
Player ain't from Florida.
Got neon gators out there.
Bro, I'm over here like, and he's like, oh my God. I'm like, dude, just stay on the fucking thing. He don't want nothing to do with you. Just chill, bro. So that was fun. But dude, we got out on the fucking water and like, okay, cool. It's glowing some. And we're like, all right, that's cool.
Right.
I was one of the first folk to catch it. Because remember,
See that?
We got a glower over here going.
right, and it's like that at first, you know, like because you're all like, oh, it's like taking acid. Everybody's waiting for it to kick
Dude, I
in.
can't believe I've never seen this.
Really?
Dude,
Yeah, I
that's
have
so
no clue
wild,
what you
bro.
guys are talking
Dude,
about.
Wait, hold on.
Dude,
John.
Google it right quick
Yeah,
on
hold
your
on.
fucking
I got him.
phone.
I got
yeah.
him. Oh.
Yeah, bro. Did you say porn? But yeah, so dude, it's fucking glowing and it's badass, and it just keeps getting brighter and brighter and brighter as we're going out through the night.
Cool.
But like, it would have been a
It
terrible.
doesn't look like that. Bro, that's a Pixar movie, though. They took a screenshot of it.
Shit.
It does,
That bright.
bro.
That bright?
Fucker, I'm telling you,
Bro, I would have taken some like in a jar and took that shit home with
So
me.
it's at the beach?
it's just
Yeah,
in the
on
water.
the
Well, not
coastline.
at the beach, in the river, right?
Yeah, well, the waves are what keeps making it like
So,
it's
yeah.
like these little chemical. Let me not even try to act like
I
I know what
won't-
that shit is.
Wait, no, maybe I did see it in the beach when I was a kid.
It normally happens in the beach because like just the waves crashing is what gets those little
See,
bacteria
Wait, it
moving.
happens
We
all
go,
the time?
we go. No,
There's a
it's
season for it.
Yeah,
Oh.
Yeah, hurricane season.
And it'll happen like on Fort Lauderdale Beach?
yeah. Maybe, right?
I think it's a little more up the coast.
Okay.
Yeah, here
Just
we have
Google that
we
shit.
have radiation, dog. That's the difference.
Bioluminescence. Just Google it.
Damn,
Yeah,
alright.
it's fucking wild.
Bioevanescence, dog.
Put
Yeah.
it in a jar?
Yeah.
No,
Is it illegal?
No. Well, what happens is it's some sort of reaction that like
Exactly. It's a glow stick.
it's an individual particle making every single bit of glow.
I'll get all the particles in my shit.
So like they don't do it again. So if you take it home, you can't shake it and make it keep glowing. The particle ends as soon as it's
done, one
Yeah,
time.
like I said, I don't know the science.
Yeah.
I don't know, but I know the chemical reaction happens fast
That
and
makes
not
sense.
It's as disappointing as my
shoot
sea
their-
monkeys.
Shoot their shot, bro. They shoot their shot.
again. Right, exactly.
When I found
But
out sea
dude,
monkeys weren't monkeys, dog, I got upset.
and you know, it's so the whole thing, this whole everything that I've just talked about, the whole time I've been questioning, like that night with getting too high, I was like, am I gonna fucking die? Did I make a bad decision? But like then like all the questions of, oh, did I look stupid during the interviews? Did I talk too much? You know, all the
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
all of it, man. All that came. And then like
Bro, when I smoke weed, that's all.
That's
My
it?
whole high is questioning myself.
Same. That's why I can't smoke.
Oh, that's wild. I just seen Robbie is a bit static sounding. I'm like, what is going on? I'm seeing y'all's chat. Anyway,
Don't pay attention. Don't pay attention.
don't peek
No,
behind the
we
curtain.
fixed it.
Yeah. It starts with like back when I used to smoke, it'd be like, does my body posture look weird? Am I staring too long? Am I breathing weird? That's how
Am
it
I
starts.
breathing weird?
That's how it starts.
Oh, and it just gets
and
worse.
then it's like, what did I do today? Let's question all your decision making. You know?
But see, like,
And then once I'm like asking myself, like, did I say this weird? That's when I'm like, oh, I'm high.
Yeah.
You know?
I do apologize to a group of people. I'm like, yo, I'm sorry I'm talking so much. They're like, bro, you haven't said shit in 2 hours. I'm like, oh.
but like, now look at that as like just a regular, not high situation, right?
Yeah.
Because like, I smoke pot all the time.
Right.
So like, it doesn't make me paranoid.
Yeah.
So I do have imposter syndrome like a motherfucker though.
Right.
So, oh man, am I qualified to be here? You know, do these people want me here? That fucking shit. Bro, I'm painting a mural in my kid's room recently, and I questioned everything about myself that whole
You're
fucking
like, is this
week.
my kid?
like
It's a giant
Am I
weed
at the
plant.
wrong house?
like am I being a good parent by
Yeah.
doing this, or
Yeah.
or am I just trying to like flex my artistic muscles and just look cool? Is this a fucking ego thing, or is this for my kid? Who the fuck? Like, bro,
Are you even mine?
am I doing a good job? Like, I think I'm doing a bad job. Like, yeah, like, did Donna really want to have a kid with me, or was I just a guy that would give her a kid? You know, like all this fucking wacky shit, right? So it's just so funny how I feel like as artists, but also just as humans, we have a tendency to question ourselves a lot.
Yeah.
You know, like imposter syndrome's a real fucking thing. Like, and like we all live in it. Like I ended up tattooing one of the people that used to work at the vet office we take all our animals to. And she's been running through that shit heavy. And like to be in the tattoo situation with her and like be able to talk deep, it was really cool to hear that, oh yeah, man, you're a fucking doctor and you have imposter syndrome shit. You know, like, so we all like, I think we all just fucking have it. I can imagine you have to have it, especially with the fucking, you know, everything that's happened with all the fucking social media and the show. And like, bro, like people know who the fuck you are.
Dude, you know what's weird? And I don't know if this is for everyone or just me, but like I'm always curious. Like I'll hear someone like you say like, hey, I smoke all the time, but like normally I have all these thoughts. Mm-hmm. Do you think if you stop smoking, the thoughts would go away?
It's been there since before.
It's been there since before.
Oh yeah.
It just resurfaced.
No, they've just always been there. Like the imposter syndrome has always been a part of me doing the things that I do.
But then smoking helps with it?
A lot of the time,
yeah.
Like, I don't like the act of smoking. I like the medicating purposes it does. Like, it used to be like a party thing for me.
Because, like, for me, same thing. Like, I had all that shit growing up.
Right.
And then I found, like, smoking and doing that stuff was my solution. Mm-hmm. And then I think because, like, I'm an addict, I took it too far. Now it's not a solution anymore,
right?
You know,
right.
But I see a lot of people that don't have that, you know, that addiction factor, and it remains a solution. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't like the act of smoking. Like I said, like I wish I wasn't. Yeah. So I realize I have taken it too far at times.
Okay. Yeah.
Because like if you're just sitting there and you're like, man, I'm smoking for a habit, not because it actually is doing its medicinal work.
Yeah.
Like, all right, man, I'm probably abusing this.
Sure.
You know, with the edibles that last time, I was like, all right, let me back off for a bit. Because
it was like a missed dose.
It was a missed dose, but like bordering on abusing it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Sure. Like I'm overdoing it. Like anything, you don't want to overdo anything.
Right.
You know, like everything in moderation, including moderation. So I always push the including moderation line. But yeah, I toy with it. Like I used to use drinking as a big fucking tool to like quell my anxieties.
It's hard not to. I mean, society tells you that's the solution to everything. They sell it fucking everywhere. It's in every social setting. Yeah, it's pretty hard to miss.
Right, and it was easy for me to gravitate to because it got me over my anxieties. It got me over the introverted part of my introverted extrovert.
Right.
You know, so like now I'm like, fuck yeah, the life of the party, but then I go too far.
Yeah.
And then I'm now crying or yelling, you know, or just passed out.
Yeah.
Or unintelligible words or vomiting, you know, like and I did that a lot of my life. And I'm sure there's something going on up in the brain, right? Like we all have things. And I know my brand of nuts is specific to me, but not exclusive to me. So other people have similar brands of nuts that I have in my brain, right? Like, but I've been working with that for a very long time, and drinking wasn't the solution.
Sure.
So about 6.5, 7 months ago, I quit drinking, and that was really cool, right? I didn't quit drinking knowing that I was going to quit drinking forever. I quit drinking knowing that I was no longer going to use it as a crutch. And so now if I drink, and it's fun, and then it's there.
Right.
But it's a fun thing. It's not a social anxiety thing, stress thing. You know, I've experienced so much emotion and so many hard times without drinking just in that 6 months. Because like you go to a theme park, you drink. You have a party, you drink. Mm-hmm. You know, like you got people coming over, you drink. You know, like I just used to drink.
Well, it's tough because like we all have our like vices or things we look forward to in situations,
right?
And it like changes all the time. You know, like if I'm at the shop, I'm really looking forward to like spending time with my client or chopping it up with the guys or doing the satisfaction of a design I like, right? If I'm home, like doing nothing, TV, like there's different things,
right?
But it's tricky because when it's alcohol is like in every setting. So you're like, oh, out to dinner. Oh, I'm going to look forward to alcohol.
Yes.
Oh, at the park, I'm going to look forward to alcohol.
Dude.
Does that make sense
100%,
what I'm saying?
yes.
So it's so easy for it to become a habit.
Absolutely. And it did. And it did. And I'm a grown-up. And I make money. So I got an ID It says I can buy this. So, and don't you fucking tell me what to do,
Right,
you know? So like, I had a lot of pushback against myself for a long time, knowing like, man, you're leaning in too hard on this. And for the work that you do just the work that you do in life, because like the rad movement doesn't just happen in tattooing. Like I live that shit.
Right.
That way I'm not a fucking fraud, because I hate frauds, you know? So like, I really do my best to live that. So I'm like, dog, like, okay, you can get away with calling weed fucking medicine as long as you don't abuse that.
Yeah.
You know, like, because really what's the alternative? Some sort of medicine that you go and get from your doctor. Yeah. So I'm exploring these options, but I'm also considering talking to my doctor, right? Because I do have a brain that does things and it goes wild and it gets the monkey brain going and just grabs at all the things.
Goes nuts.
Yeah. Yeah. And, you know, and you go to chaos. You know, you're like, oh, this is going downhill. Let's tank it. It's going to burn down. Let's burn it down now, because it's inevitably going to die. So let's kill it. Let's get the fuck over with.
That's how that's how I gamble.
Right.
Let's kill it.
And that's a vice too, right? You know, and it can be unhealthy, but it can be fun. Like, I like to gamble sometimes, but I never really like to gamble.
I know.
So like, dude, funny story about gambling. I decided, so me and Donna, it was Valentine's Day this year, and we were on a work trip, and her friends were around, so they took the baby, so we got to go and enjoy Valentine's Day without the baby. And so we don't do that a lot. She doesn't trust a lot of people to watch him. So like, we actually got to go chill. So we go to the fucking the casino. Wasn't drinking, and like, I was like, every time I went into one of those situations, it was like, all right, you're going to be strong, right? You're going to be strong, right? You're not going to fucking drink, you pussy. You know you can fuck. Oh, God, I want to drink. No. You know, like this whole thing, right? And so then when I would fucking overdo it, I'd be like, babe, do I want to drink tonight? And she'd be like, nah, dude, you already said no. Like, you don't want to drink until this point. You know, like, you already set yourself an end date to this, like, weird thing you're doing, and you know why you're doing it. So just do it. And so every time I would be too far in it, I'd ask her. Yeah. And she'd bring me back to it. I'm like, all right, cool.
I mean, that's the best thing you can do.
Dude,
it's like an outside influence.
I imagine that's what AA is like.
100%.
You know, like, oh, hey, sponsor, I want to get down.
It's like don't get literally down. The whole program.
Don't get down like that. Go have some cake. You know,
right.
And so I went through a lot of that, right? But like, and that's why I enjoy the way I do motivation, because it's real. You will find me in a stripper club drunk sometimes. But you'll also find me doing things for my community. Right. You know what I'm saying?
In the glowing kayak.
Right. Like you'll see me lifting people up. You'll see me helping people fucking not commit suicide. You'll see me doing all this other work, right? But you'll also see me being human as fuck. You're gonna catch me yelling at Donna some of these times. You're gonna catch me yelling at my kid. You're gonna catch me yelling at somebody I work with or one of my clients. Like, you're gonna catch me doing wrong. And that's one of the things that I think is making me feel better a lot of the time.
Transparency.
Right.
Yeah.
I know that I am allowed to make mistakes in this life, and I know that doesn't discredit the good person I'm really trying to be. Yeah. You know? So like, I kind of look at drinking like that now. Yeah. My best self, health-wise, I probably shouldn't drink a lot.
Right. That's a part I feel like that everyone skips over.
Right.
It's just like
it's poison,
nutrition, dietary, like health.
Right.
Like, let's not drunk driving, you know, abandoning friends, money. Like, that
shit's cool.
Affects your health.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Right. If that's how you want to live, player, get it how you live.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, dude, no, go ahead, continue.
No, but I was just saying that's like a whole other factor.
It's health.
You know,
it's
like
important.
Liver, you know, the fact that beer and all this other stuff,
weight
like
gain,
fat, weight gain.
High blood pressure. If you have a history of dementia, you know, like all these things, right?
Depression. I mean, there's
fuck.
Mental health, right? More.
Right.
One thing, and it's on the same topic, but I really wanted to talk about this with you, so I want to make sure we hit it, because we're talking about mental health. And recently we have been talking about like the climate of tattooing. I think a lot of the focus recently in our talks has been like financial, like economy and this and that. But anytime we have that going on, how could mental health not be affected, right? And I know that this is something that not only, you know, you talk about, you have your own channels that you talk about, but you deal with, you find solutions. So I know your brain is always looking through this lens of like, how is the mental side of it? What do you think about the mental stress or even climate like of the tattoo industry right now? Do you think it's changed? Where do you think it's at right now? What are your thoughts on it?
A lot.
I know that's a big question.
It is. No, and I've been speaking on it on the internet. And as you're saying this, I'm looking at the lens of the mirror, and I'm like, oh. I have been a little bit of a bully.
A bully?
And hiding it behind proper wording.
The best bullies do.
Right?
Yeah.
And I got bullied a lot as a kid. I returned the favor to the world for a while.
Balance.
Yeah. And now I make sure that, like, if I am bullying, I'm bullying for a reason, but like I try to make it like not harmful.
Sure.
So like, you know, I'll post something like unpopular opinion.
Yeah.
You know, numbing cream don't fuck up your tattoos and shit ain't slow. You just like excuses.
Right.
You know, do better.
Right.
And so like,
so you're instigating.
yeah. And I don't want to admit that, right?
Yeah.
Because I know at the heart of it, I'm doing
it's
good.
fun sometimes.
Right. And at the heart of it, I'm doing good, right?
Yeah.
Because I know, like, hey man, I'm saying take accountability. I'm not saying you suck. I'm just saying take accountability. Yeah. But like it comes off cocky, probably a little bit of a soapbox.
Yeah.
I now get that. You know, but in these moments you don't realize, and I'm playing with the algorithm.
Sure.
You know, like if I get people,
which like instigating is the best thing you
no.
can do for that.
So like I try to find the kindest way to instigate.
Yeah.
So like when somebody tells me do better, I'm like, why are you so mean and right? You know, like, and the right part is really what gets me. You know, like I don't even care. You're not even mean. I'm sorry I said that, but God, stop being right around me, bitch. You know, like so. I play with that for the algorithm's sake, and I'm not gonna lie. Of course, I think it's my own ego trying to get a shot in at the people that I'm tired of hearing complain about it. Right. But that's really not what my job is to do. My job is here to love, right? So I am trying to learn how to lovingly
bully people,
make people see it from the perspective that I'm trying to see it at. Because, like, from my perspective, look, check this out. Everything's a story with me. So I had a crypto
Once upon a time.
Yeah, I had a crypto score back when crypto was killing. So I didn't really work for a lot of the baby Zen's new life and a little bit beforehand. Nice. Just to like support Donna and just like try to get my head around like having another child later on in life. Like it was a weird thing for me, right? Even though like I was like, oh, we gonna make a kid. I was like, I'm not ready. But we were watching the bar rescue, and John Taffer's screaming at this fucking couple, and he's like, your business is failing because you're not there. And me and her looked at each other, and
he's talking to me,
dude. We felt that. So now fast forward to now. I already felt that. Because we did this baby stuff, and I backed away from my business. He's 2. He's a little over 2 now. So like, I felt that about 2 years ago, or about a year and a half ago. So like, I realized, fuck, you need to get your head in the game if you want your business to pay you properly. Then I had a whole staff of people that was like stealing from me and shit. So over $100,000 lost at this point in time, and I fought through that whole thing. And I didn't know I was getting stolen from. So I'm like, all right, cool. What do we do now? So like all that happened. And then I realized I was in slow season. But the cool thing is like people were starving my books. Yeah. So like when your books aren't being starved anymore and you're just getting your fucking flow of clientele.
It's busy season.
It's busy season, baby. So like my misfortunes have brought me fortune to be able to look at this as, man, just keep hustling it. Yeah. You know, like last time I came here, I was like, I got to step up my social media game. Yeah. And now I see people that are only sharing really fucking popular fucking videos are sharing my shit. Nice. I'm seeing a dude sharing your video and my video right after each other. And I'm like, oh man, all right, this, It's happening, and it's been hard because, all the imposter syndrome about making the content, and I sing while I tattoo. So I had my man fucking cameraman in me while I'm singing, and I'm like, cringe, So I've been pushing myself really hard to make sure that my business does well. Cool. So my whole thing is, look, man, when I was going through my second divorce, a homie was like, the tattoo shop is an ATM if you want it to be. Just show up and make money. Flocks just posted that.
I saw that.
Money or you're
whatever.
You're a tattooer, so you're a money printer. And clients, I want you to understand when we say that, it's not in any matter disrespectful. It's just a part of the industry.
Right.
If you fucking go to work with the intention of fucking working,
service, sales job,
you make money. Yeah. Dude, I had a homie. I met him at this convention.
Strippers print money too.
Yes, exactly.
Just saying.
Yeah. OnlyFans. You know what I'm saying? Fucking
waitresses,
dude,
bottle
find
girls.
your hustle, dog. You know what I'm saying? So oh fuck, I forgot what I was saying. Anyway.
But I mean, and you were answering it with the climate of the tattoo industry now, with posting, and being more out there in social media, obviously you kind of get a better grasp of what's going on there. And I think we can get a somewhat accurate view of how people are feeling based on their online presence.
Yeah.
Are you noticing more sensitivity, more depression, more negativity, more positivity? What's out there in the tattoo industry,
mental health wise, and that's why I'm leaning into it so much. Y'all need to cry more.
Yeah.
We all need to cry more.
I cried earlier.
Bro, right. Because I'm sure every Monday is pressure. You know what I'm saying? Every time you're about to go to the big show, there's pressure.
Yeah.
Right? Dude, the night before I left to come to do this, my homie, he's like, bro, I can't find your video, or I can't find your episode on John's podcast on Apple. And I'm like, oh, they don't want me there. Right? Right? And so I'm fucking...
There's no glow, homie.
Right? I'm setting fire to the trip. You know, I'm like, oh, they don't want me there. Man, I shouldn't be there. And then we're having technical difficulties. Well, maybe that was what I was feeling.
It's happening.
You know, right. So you have to make sure...
you're going to need to get on one knee, boy.
Bro, right? Yeah. So, you have to make sure that you're not setting fire to the whole fucking project before it happened just because of travel anxiety. Yeah. Dude, Donna calls me out on it all the time because, bro, I cancel the trip every day until I actually start the trip. I'm like, fuck it, we ain't going. Fuck it, we ain't going. I can make money at home. Why am I going to this damn convention? Fuck it, I don't need this shit. I'm the fucking man without this shit. I could just stay here and stay healthy and then you go to the fucking trip and it's awesome. And you talk to a bunch of people and people tell you changed their lives, or, you fucking meet your fucking idols and your heroes, and now you fucking communicate with them more regularly. And it's like, whoa. Holy shit, man, I really have been playing in the fucking big leagues. Why am I acting like it's my first day on the job? And I feel like, to tie it back to the original question, that's what we act like in slow season. Motherfucker, I've been in this industry for 30 fucking years or more at this point, right? I watched my dad do it. Did it since I was 12 when I started my informal apprenticeship, 16 when I fucking first slang attack at bullets. I was not really a smart dude when it came to it. I just picked up a machine because my dad told me to do that and ran with it. So I had to use my personality. So my whole career was make them laugh, make them have fun, do the fat kid thing. Yeah. The fat kid either gets picked on and bullies back, or he learns how to use who he really is to show them that he's not just a fat kid, right? So I did all of that. I did all of that. And so I've always been learning that I just got to fucking push so I can make that money.
Right.
I've always been very money motivated. How dogs can be food motivated. I've always been very money motivated, but I've realized I love tattooing so much that I have to do it. Mm-hmm. So I better find fucking money in it, because I'm going to do that more than I do most things, and now I'm finding a way to balance it better with charging rates that are more for where I'm at in this game. Right. And I'm 43. I got a baby, dog. I want to giggle with him. I want to pretend I'm a dinosaur at home. I want to hang out with the dinosaurs I painted in his room and just like chill with him and like have him fall asleep with me and like cry watching Disney movies and shit. You know, like that's what I want to do. So I learned I had to charge what I needed to make in order to live the life I needed to live. And I've pushed through a lot of that pain already. Yeah. Dude, like, and then getting coached by the dude Matt Clemmer and then feeling like it was a weird fucking thing and he didn't give us the tools to get to the places, you know, and like I've been researching how to just change my relationship with money for so long that, man, we're just in another slow season. You know, like, bro, I've watched the rise and fall of the tattoo industry, I'd say at least 3 times, right? Every decade, we could say you've seen it happen. So, you know, being that I came into this like in the late 90s, you know, as a tattooer, like I've watched, man, and I used to be real mad about it. All these motherfuckers ain't got no credentials and coming up in my game, coming into my city. Man, they lucky we don't do it the way they used to do it when my dad was around. You know what I'm saying? Like, because my dad would come home to middle-class white suburbia with a fucking shotgun in his hand. Right. You know, like, gotta protect myself. These motherfuckers crazy out in these streets. Like, you know, like my dad, the only time my dad got arrested was because he fucking had a concealed weapon without a permit. Because he was carrying it on his person and he'd put it in the car.
Shotgun? God damn.
No, that was a pistol. So after the pistol, he realized you could have a shotgun.
Yeah. He just puts it here in his jacket.
But yeah, dude, so like, you know, I've watched this shit happen. And then as a young, cocky tattooer, I remember being the king of my town, right? Yeah. So you couldn't take me down. And every time I was doing like the prize fighter thing, where he hires a hype man to tell him he's a champ for fucking months on end. Man, I was my own hype man because I was so insecure and I was so afraid of losing it all that I had to just remind myself, motherfucker, you got this. You're better than everybody. Sometimes I did believe it. Most of the time I didn't, but it helped me believe that I knew I could do this. It knew I was doing something right. I was developing a style. I was developing a brand and a fucking following. And people had been calling my tattoos Robbie tattoos around town for a long time, you know? So like, I know that like I've done this, right? So I think because of my experience, like with COVID when it happened, I was like, y'all remember bird flu and this other one and this other one and this other one? Swine. Like, bro, we all, like, we've had diseases that killed us so many times, bro. Yeah. Like, y'all don't remember Y2K? Computers were going to crash and the world was going to end. We were going to go back to the Stone Ages. Like, dude, you don't remember these media frenzies we've been through?
No, I remember, yeah.
Right, and that's the way I look at it. If y'all don't remember these media frenzies we've been through, and the tattooers are making our own media frenzy, because now let's get weird, right? Fucking, it goes into mindset. And that's what I've been working on for a long time. And that's what I hate. I hate mindset work. It's some of the hardest shit I've ever done because it's telling yourself a different story.
Different reality.
Right. Yeah. Instead of listening to the lie that your fucking fear and your ego make up because your ego is built to protect you. Right. So now you've got this ego that's protecting the fuck out of you. And it's protecting you so much, it's killing anyone on sight.
Yeah.
Not hands on sight and murder on sight. So now your ego is killing everything right off rip, so that way it doesn't hurt you. Well, now you're alone, sad, depressed, and fucking scared. Yeah. That doesn't fix it. So, like, I had to learn that my money problems were my problems.
Right, and how do you get out of your own reality to change your perspective?
A number of things. Right. I hired a bunch of coaches, and I spent probably over $100,000 on coaching. Some of it was fully effective. Some of it was not effective. It was all effective in the end because you either learn how to do something or you learn how not to do something, right? So I went through a lot of learned how to do something, learned how to not do something. And I figured out just stop. Like, how do you stop fucking drinking? How do you stop fucking lying? How do you stop doing any bad habit you don't want to do? You just have to finally commit to yourself to stop. So, like, I just know when I've been checking myself a lot. And like, so with the coaching that I do, it's called the Rad Academy, powered by the Magical Motherfucker Method. And I hired a coach to help me develop this method. And one of the things that we do is developing a toolkit. But before that, it's check yourself. that part of the step of the process is called check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Chickadee.
Right? Because like I always like when somebody brings relatable shit into this weird world of coaching space and mindset stuff, right? Because the shit's weird, bro. And I wear crystals and I burn sage and I'm fucking weird. And I do specific breathing exercises and breath work and journaling and reading. And like I do all this fucking weird shit that like I'm afraid to get called nerdy for. But like, I'm afraid to get made fun of a lot. But I have to do this because this is the shit that made me not want to kill myself anymore when I wanted to really kill myself after I did Ink Master. You know, I Googled how to be happy and I found Brendan Burchard, and this guy's fucking brilliant, and he teaches the same stuff I teach, but just in a different language to a different audience. So I was like, man, if I throw some fucks in there and make this stuff really work, man, maybe I can help tattooers not kill them fucking selves. So I've been doing all this mental work for over 10 years now. So like, that's how you do it. All the work, do shadow work, fucking, you know, read books, listen to podcasts, fucking journal, make meditation simple. Like if you find a practice that gets you into flow state easily, like video games gets Donna. Yeah. And, you know, like, so we set up a gaming computer for her, and like, I've seen her like levels of like confidence and joy increase because she gets her meditation. Right. And like, at first I was like, you're stupid, bitch. You got to sit with, and you got to get in you with to enlightenment and like with Buddha and stuff. And like, and now I realize, man, you do driving meditations, you do eating meditations, you know, like.
I do that too well.
The eating one?
Yeah.
Me too.
Well, like, dude.
Don't.
Like this one book that I read, he's talking about like happiness, and it's called Happiness by Thich Nhat Hanh. He's fucking phenomenal, and it's very simple shit. He's like, man, put your fork down between bites. Because then you mindfully chew this fucking food. And if you forget to taste it and you just swallow it, that's fine. You have to go and pick up that fork again.
Try again.
Right, right. And so thoughts.
Yeah.
How do you kill your thoughts? You don't. But like when you fucking fuck up and you're like, oh, I'm fucking poor. Yeah. You're like, nah, bro, I'm not poor. It's cool.
And feel poor, dog.
Right. And like, so shit's really weird, right? Writing things on your fucking mirror, dog. If you brush your teeth every day like I do, twice a day, you know, you have to remind yourself to, because there's times that fucking Post-it note is still out of range. Yeah. And it's just as blurry as the background here. Yeah. So like I don't see it. So I have to remind myself, read that fucking thing. And it's a fucking Bob Proctor quote. And it's so funny. I repeat this quote so much and I still have trouble remembering it. Oh no, hold on. I am so happy and grateful for the money that comes to me in increasing quantities on a regular basis. And then I wrote an extra note on the little bottom. I am already rich with a little heart. And I've had that on my fucking mirror for a while now. And like, that stuff helps. It's not going to fix it, right? You know, the I'm Rad tattoo that helped me start the Rad movement, you know, like, you know how many times I've gone through hard times and didn't look down and read I'm Rad? Yeah. Like, you have to use...
I think this is I'm sad.
Right? Like, I can't read it. I remember saying that one time out loud. They were like, look at your I'm Rad tattoo. And I'm like, I can't read it. I can't see it. Like, and that's where my heart was, because when you're feeling poor, when you're in that lack mindset and you need to fucking be moving into abundance... And like, dog, I thought that shit was weird, right? You know what I'm saying? But like, you just really have to shift it. Like, you really have to shift looking at it like, oh my God, like, dude, we were talking about business and like, you didn't have like, man, shit's perfect. Right. You know, you were like, I don't want to discourage anyone, but, you know, and like, you discuss the distresses of owning a certain business. Yeah. But then you also discussed your plans, your goals, and your strategies. And what you expect to get out of this. So that's the thing. I think we forget to plan our success. Yeah. You know, we're always so worried about failing. We have to plan our success. So in a year, I'm going to be making X amount of dollars. Cool. Just make it that. Right. And then reverse engineer. If you want it to be 100,000, 250, 500, 3 million, 50 million. Yeah. How much per day, per week, per quarter do you need to make?
Well, what I'm really guilty of is
I probably am too.
there's like, let's say there's like 10 things going on, 5 good, 5 bad. I'm only looking at the bad.
Only.
And it's happening a lot, and I'm trying to get better at it, and I think I've made 0 progress.
So that's another pitfall.
Yeah.
So there you are. So all right. Let's work together. All right.
Well, because the example I think about is like always having friends in town, you being one of them. That's what the situation was. Another one, at my house right now, and another one coming, and they're like, hey, how have you been? And I just bring up the worry, the anxiety, and the stress.
Yeah.
But then there's like 5 really cool things that happened since the last time I saw you, but I'm not even going to bring it up,
Bro, right.
So there's the context.
So, so you're looking at it all wrong.
Yeah.
Right? Like it's just that simple.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing. I like to take the mystique away from motivational speaking, away from mental wellness, mental health, self-help, life coaching. I used to think that shit was corny. How can you be a coach if you think the shit's corny? You had to fucking change your mindset around it because it's not fucking corny. Yeah. Like, man, if you want to get good at boxing, you hire a boxing coach. Right. Like if you want to get good at life, you hire a life coach. You're pretty fucking good at life. Right?
Yeah.
Like
stay alive. You got a coach.
right.
Don't kill yourself.
But like that might be it. You might just be needed to be told, hey, don't kill yourself.
Right.
Like my first life coach, he was like, what do you do with the rad movement? And we went through the whole thing, and he's like, so you're telling me if you don't do the rad movement, people die because you've told me people stay alive because you do the rad movement. I'm like, fuck you son of a bitch.
Wait a minute.
Haven't lost one yet.
And he started training me for that a while ago. You know what I'm saying? So then other coaches I've had have helped me. And then other experiences, losing my leg, dude, having the rad movement to keep me grounded. I had a doc come in the room. She goes, hey man, because I was like, man, I don't know how I'm not going to lose my leg. Right. And the doc was like, hey, I've looked at some of your rad movement stuff. Why don't you be your own guru? Right. And I'm like, you fucking
now, you piece of shit.
Like, oh, really, doc? Why don't you do your fucking job?
That's what you learned in medical school? How to make people feel bad?
But she was right. She was right as fuck. And then I was like, damn, dude, doctors are looking at my fucking content. And they actually think I'm pretty good stuff with it. So shit, maybe I should fucking keep moving. So like all these little pieces, right? So that's what... So we're actually making progress, and this is exactly what coaching is like with me. Mm-hmm. But it doesn't feel like it. Right. It just feels like Robbie's talking about some weird shit, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh wow, there is a bow. He was tying something, because that's how life feels. You never feel like you're making progress, but you fucking are.
Right.
And it takes an accountability partner, a coach, a loved one, a spouse. Dude, asking for help. You said before this podcast, I started asking for help. And like that hit me. I felt attacked when you said that. I was like, oh, maybe you need to start asking for help more. So that's another thing, right? When I feel triggered, I try to go to check yourself. Right. I try to go to, okay, I'm feeling triggered. Why, bitch?
Right.
John ain't did nothing to you right now.
Right.
This is your own insecurity.
Yeah.
Like when the homie was like, I can't find your podcast episode. I was like, yesterday before we left, I was like, I just want to let you know, this is my imposter syndrome. It's not you. But that really sucked. And like, I really had to face my...
Apple doesn't pay us.
Right. I had to really focus on like getting over it, and pushing past it. So that's what you have to do. Look, it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay to stay that way. So stop fucking focusing on the 5 bad things, you dickhead. Because especially if you're listening, if you're paying attention to the law of the universe, the law of attraction, if you believe in any of that shit, right? Or if you even know what it is, or if you don't care about it, right? I believe it's a thing, the law of attraction. Yeah. What you focus on, what you put your energy into returns to you. Yeah. Bro, right? Like it's just, I've noticed that shit. Yeah. Like if I have an ache or a pain, the more I fucking just focus putting love on it, the better it turns out being. But when I'm like, oh, I'm going to die, I'm going to lose another limb, like, no, man. Like it takes, like.
And when you have that like positive perspective, even if things aren't like new things that are good aren't coming in, you already feel better about the things you have.
Absolutely.
So it starts right away.
Right. It does. Like when I was painting my son's murals, dude, I started these murals over 2 years ago when she was pregnant, but it didn't feel right. I couldn't finish the artwork.
Yeah.
This stuff, now I know his personality, so I made Dactyl and fucking Cha-Cha-Ta-Tops. Because
what?
he loves
Cha-cha-ta-tops.
he loves Triceratops, he loves pterodactyls, so I
Yeah.
painted those, right? I love making things huge, so I took up all the wall space with 2 characters.
Yeah.
Well, and then a shark on the one wall, and then a flamingo, just because I was like, let's add these here, right? But like these are all fun things that represent us as family, right? Like this whole shit tells a story, but it was so hard because pain is art and art is pain.
Yeah.
Like the pain I went through creating the art was really bad. Dude, I'd run into, I can't find any music. So now I'm fucking just mad that I can't find music. And then I'm like, oh, let's just shift focus. And so like every time I'd shift focus, like, oh, you can listen to a meditation right now. And so I'd listen to a couple meditations and, oh, you can listen to a podcast or a book. Like, you don't have to only listen to music, dog. You've been locked in this room a week. Like you're allowed to like just imbibe different content and you're allowed to have these ups and downs. So like anytime you're on a project towards a goal, there's going to be ups and downs. You have to remember that. Like there's a video that's been circulating. It's been circulating for years, but I love seeing it every time. It always hits me. It's 2 fucking chrome balls. One's going down a straight line and one's got ups and downs. And it says, this is proof that a life with ups and downs will get you further than going in a straight line. And like when you accept that, right? So super lame adages. Like if you just remember, you know, like it gets better.
Right.
Like
You can do it.
right. Like one of my best friends, he's a doctor. So I always love starting with this because you don't think that doctors have any problems.
Right.
Right. And like when I was like going through some shit with my first shop, he's like, you're acting like you have a choice, man. You'll make it. You'll make it. You don't have a choice when the city wants you to fucking make blueprints and that's going to cost money you didn't budget.
Right.
You'll make it. You know, like you don't expect divorce or death of a family member or a child or a loved one or a pet. You don't expect losing a business. You don't expect all these things, but you do expect them because you're always afraid of losing them, but you don't expect it's going to happen today. You don't expect losing a leg, right? But you have to fucking make it through that. And sometimes if you just look at yourself and say, you'll fucking make it. Stop being a fucking asshole. Stop fucking making this about you and start making it about you. You don't have to fucking deal with life. You fucking get to, you asshole.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't have to fucking be afraid. You get to live life. So if you decide to just be like, man, I am in abundance. I am in abundance of all these great things, dude. All these great things. I got so many good fucking people in town right now. I don't even know how to juggle my time with that.
Right.
You know, for me, it was, I don't have to be at work right now. I'm able to take a week off to paint this room. And then the next week, I'm not making no money because I'm doing the John Nelson thing. And then I'm going to go tattoo bands that I love. So like, man, but on the opposite side of that, oh my God, do these people even want me around? Keeps popping up.
Right. Yeah.
You know, because as a fat kid growing up, nobody wanted you around. Like they wanted you around, but you'd hear them talking bad about how you were fat.
Right.
You know, and then you'd be like, man, that sucks. I thought they were my friend. Well, they are your friend, but they're just projecting their pain onto something easy.
Yeah.
That's why dick and fart jokes are easy, man.
Right.
You know, like it's surface level stuff, but if you go deeper and you realize what's really there. Oh, and so I've been asking myself lately, all right, so instead of getting insecure and leaning into it, what do? You just tell yourself the truth. So let's turn that into your problems. Your problems are, oh, I have too much going on. Man, that's a beautiful problem to have.
Right.
Yes, and somebody said to me the other day, I do have Robbie in town. And I have this other person in town. Yes, I do have this other person in town. Yes, I have this other person in town. Yes, I do have this shop. And I have this other shop. Yes, I do have these responsibilities. And I get all these fucking blessings that come with the responsibilities. And like, not blessings in like the church sense, like good things that come to you.
Yeah.
Good things come to you. But you focus on the bad ones.
Right.
All right? How do you fix that? Trace it back to childhood trauma almost every single time.
Dude, yeah. And one thing that's kind of like helped redirect some of these conversations, because we were doing it last night, and I was doing it. It was like every time, like I'll talk to someone, and it's like, "How you been?" And they're like, this and this and this, and then you're like, "Oh, that's what we're talking about. All right, let me tell you my this and this,"
which is good, and that's healthy, and that's venting.
Sure. But it's
point,
good, like,
don't abuse it.
And then I'll be conscious. I'll be like, "Oh, we're talking about like negative things," and one way that's kind of easy for me to like steer around that is like, "Well, how's your family?" A lot of time, how are the kids? Like if we're talking about like negative business stuff, or
bring
like,
up the things that are blessings,
personal or whatever it is.
Right.
Because this was happening with a buddy of mine, and I'm like, "How are the kids?" And they're like, "Oh, they're great," And then the whole conversation was like redirected.
Yes.
Or sometimes people do that to me, and then I feel bad about talking about
right. And
I'm like, "Oh yeah, like the family's great."
But like, I feel like that's your imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
I feel like we all have, like the movie's Inside Out, right? We all have this fucking board of different things that go on, and we all handle it differently. That's just Riley's head in that fucking movie. But then when they go to mom and dad's head, it's totally different game, but it's the same layout. Yeah. We all have the same layout, man. So your imposter syndrome shows up in a different way than mine does.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But like, seriously, trace it back to childhood trauma. Because always, and it could be something as simple as like, they fucking made fun of me because my pants fell down and told me I had a small pee-pee.
Right.
Or you too? Shared trauma, eh?
But like, dude, I feel like all men have pee-pee trauma. Right? Like, just like all women have some sort of body trauma, right? Whether it's I'm not pretty enough, or my boobs aren't big enough, or my ass isn't big enough, my lips are too fucking big down there, or they're not big enough up here. Like, dude, I've heard, dude, I had a homie, he's like, dude, every time I'm around him, he's like, "Man, my fucking dick's so small." And then finally the other day, he's like, "Man, I'm like 6 inches on a good day." I'm like, "Dude, your dick isn't even that small. What are you worried about,
More
bro?"
than average, baby. You're good.
Yeah, that shit'll break some hose for real. Like, what are you worried about?
Right.
Like, so it's very interesting how we all show up and how it shows up in all of us. And like, for me, my dick stuff shows up with my partner more than anyone else. I really don't care that much anywhere else.
Right.
And then like, I also realize I do love her. She does love me. And then like, we have good times. So like, I've got fucking proof things are good there. So that's how you got to go. Like, you got to, dude, sometimes when I'm worried about money, Donna will just tell me how much money we have in the accounts. And then she'll read to me like the shop stats of like what we've made this month or last month, or, and like that will quell my anxiety.
We do have to cut this off at the end of the episode, but for people looking to improve and stay on with the things we're talking about, is the best place to find you on YouTube?
So I have a number of different avenues, right?
Yeah.
So if you ever want to talk to me personally about coaching or anything like that, just reach out on my Instagram or my Facebook, Robbie Ripoll, through DM. If I don't get back to you within like a day or a week, it probably went into a spam folder. Comment on something. Yeah. Just weird ways to work around some things, because I haven't really made it like, I haven't really built an infrastructure of a business around it. It's just something I'm doing because I know I need to do it. Yeah. So, but I've done it and I do it well, and I've been paid for it. So like, let's keep doing this. Sure. Right. So if you want coaching from me, go there to my social media DMs. If you want to just see my content, the Rad Movement has a bunch of videos.
And that's on YouTube.
That's on YouTube. Yeah. That's the best place to just look at all the content I've put out video wise. My personal social media pages, I collaborate with the Rad Movement social media pages, so I'm always posting motivational content there. Right. So yeah, man, social media is Robbie Ripoll, ROBBIE RIPOLL.
Check it out.
Links
the Rad
in the bio.
Movement.
Links in the bio.
Linked in the bio. The Rad Movement on all the different platforms. I have a website for it, but we're rebuilding it to make it, to kind of cater to the things I'm starting to do with the coaching, and then, hiring me to be a speaker and whatnot. And then one of the cool things we do at our shop, for anyone that wants to come or is in the area, this July 20th, Saturday, July 20th, We're doing this thing called the Human Narrative, and it's kind of like AA room, I've been told.
Nice.
I MC the thing. We have regular speakers. Once the regular speakers are done, we open the floor to anyone.
Yeah.
And then I just kind of softly bully anyone that needs to get over their fears to get up on the tattoo chair and talk. So like that's on YouTube. The ones that we've recorded and put on YouTube are on there.
Yeah.
So that.
That's it.
Yeah.
Check it out. Robbie, thanks so much for coming down.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having
Being
me.
around you is just like a breath of fresh air.
I
I know everyone
appreciate
here
it,
loves
man.
you, loves when you
Thank
come
you.
down.
Thank you. I appreciate
Check out
it.
his stuff.